What's up, Josh here. So these are the old Beats Powerbeats Pro, the only pair of wireless earbuds that Apple makes that has ear hooks, making them perfect for hardcore athletes or people who just want buds to stay in their ears while working out. But at this point, these are 6 years old. They don't have wireless charging in the case. They still charge via Lightning in the back. And worst of all, they don't have active noise canceling. And at $250, these are a little bit hard to recommend in 2025. So 6 years later, Beats have finally come out with the updated version, the Beats Powerbeats Pro 2, now with wireless charging, active noise cancellation, charges via USB-C on the back, and for the first time ever, heart rate monitoring on the earbuds themselves. So if AirPods are constantly falling out of your ears, or if you're looking for the perfect hybrid workout and everyday earbuds, these might be for you. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing that you notice is that Beats have really slimmed down the package this year. The old Powerbeats Pro case was massive, and now with the Powerbeats Pro 2, you can see that it's a lot more manageable of size. Obviously not as small as the AirPods Pro 2, but definitely a good improvement over the old Powerbeats Pro. This year, we've got some amazing new colors. Of course, we've got the electric orange, hyper purple, jet black, and quicksand, which looks really sleek. One thing I did want to point out though is that the closing of the case feels a little bit more plasticky on these new ones versus the old ones. So here's how the new ones close, and here's how the old ones close. I feel like there were trade-offs here. The old case was a lot thicker, and so it just felt a little more beefy. The hinge just feels a little more sturdy. Overall, it feels more well-constructed. Whereas the new ones feel a little more plasticky, a little bit more hollow. Obviously with that, it is a lot lighter and smaller, so just a little observation that I made. On the inside of the case, not much, but there is a pairing button. So this is a physical button that you can press and hold to pair to new devices, including Android devices. Now onto the buds themselves. Compared to the old Powerbeats Pro, these are generally a little bit slimmer and more refined, although still retaining a lot of the familiar characteristics of the old Powerbeats Pro. One thing that I really loved on the old Powerbeats Pro was the physical buttons. So on each earbud, there was a physical play pause button as well as a volume rocker. And I'm happy to say that they've actually retained basically the same design in the new Powerbeats Pro 2. So not only have they kept this big button on the front of the earbud, they've also kept the volume rocker on both earbuds, making it really easy to change volume on the fly. And that's really important because when you're moving around, the last thing you want to do is fidgeting with swipe gestures or anything like that. And so physical buttons are really easy to use when you're moving about. And then as far as putting the buds on, you sort of just put the ear hook over your ear and then rotate it backwards to sort of lock the fit in. And once it's in, it ain't going anywhere. And overall, the fit is really good. It does work for my ears, whereas with my AirPods, when I sweat, they kind of tend to fall out. With these, they're basically locked in. I did take these on a run and on a flight from New York to California and basically had these in the whole time for the whole 5 or 6 hours. The ear hook itself is really flexible and non-irritating, so that didn't bother me at all. And these also come with 5 sets of ear tips. So extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large. Now with the Powerbeats Pro 2, they've finally added noise cancellation and transparency. So how did those perform? Well, after taking on a flight from New York to California, these performed amazing. They basically blocked out all the noise that I needed to, and I'd say are basically on par with the AirPods Pro 2nd gen. So if they're good enough on an airplane, I'd say they're definitely good enough for the gym or just using around your home. And especially with the ear hook, I think one thing that a lot of people tend to overlook is when it comes to noise canceling, having a good fit is actually a really big part of the performance of the noise cancellation. So when it comes to these buds, having the ear hook basically lock that fit in your ears to create a really good seal means that you are gonna get the best noise canceling performance that you can get. Beats have actually said that these are the best noise canceling that they've put in any Beats product, and I can say that that's probably true. And this is where it gets a little bit confusing for me when I was testing these, is that when it came to transparency mode and sound quality, I actually think that they didn't perform as well as the AirPods Pro 2. To me, when it came to transparency mode, these just didn't sound as full or as natural as the AirPods Pro 2. And then also when it came to sound quality, again, these sound perfectly fine, but when it came to back-to-back testing, the AirPods Pro 2 just sounded a little bit more full, had a little more immersion in the the sound, the bass was a little bit punchier, and it just sounded a little bit more clear. And I was really racking my brain as to why they wouldn't put the best sounding, drivers or just the best tech in general in these new products. And I really only came to one conclusion, which is that they want to keep the product hierarchy. They want to keep AirPods Pro as the best sounding, Apple product. Whereas with Beats, they obviously have a really well-known brand and a really great product. They just don't want that product to be as good or even better than their flagship products, the AirPods. It almost makes me think of F1. When a manufacturer has two drivers in P1 and P2, so first and second place in a race, sometimes the second place driver might want to overtake the first place driver, but for some reason, the executives on that manufacturer might tell the second place person to stay behind the first place person. For whatever reason, maybe that first place driver is the poster child of that team and they want to keep that reputation that way, or whatever reason that they have from the higher ups. That's sort of what I'm seeing here, is that they could have made these such an amazing, top tier product, but instead they've chosen to put it slightly below the AirPods Pro 2. But enough about that. Let's talk about the most exciting thing about these earbuds, and that is the heart rate monitoring. So for the first time ever in any Beats or Apple wireless earbud, we've now got heart rate monitoring right on the earbud itself. So naturally, a bunch of questions come up, like how does it work? What apps can you use it with? Is it tracking all the time? And what if I'm wearing an Apple Watch? So first of all, these work just like any other heart rate monitor. Beats actually worked with the Apple Watch team to come up with a sensor that is super tiny. Basically, it is an optical heart rate sensor with a green LED diode. They're gonna pulse lights and detect the reflected light and uses algorithms to figure out how fast your heart is beating. Now, once you've got the earbuds in your ears, basically launch an app that is supported. I believe there's a couple out right now. Nike Run Club is one of them. And then that's about it. Just start your workout and your heart rate is gonna be displayed on the app right there. It is really seamless. There's nothing you have to do and your heart rate will be displayed in real time on your phone. Now, in terms of accuracy, I did test these with a Garmin heart rate monitor that actually goes on my chest. So I went on a quick run and basically every time I checked down on my watch, which was getting signal from my chest strap, it matched up with my phone. So I had my phone and my watch, and basically every time I looked down, they were nearly identical, maybe 1 beat per minute off, which was actually really surprising. So I'd say in terms of accuracy, I would trust these with how well they perform. Now, one thing to note is that these only offer passive tracking. So if you're not doing a workout or if you don't have an app that works with these launched, they're not gonna be tracking your heart rate. So it's not like you can replace your Apple Watch with these. These are more so meant to just supplement those people without Apple Watches who still wants heart rate monitoring when they're working out. Oh, and when you are wearing an Apple Watch, it'll actually take the heart rate reading from your Apple Watch rather than the earbuds. Now, something that's pretty neat is that if you have an Android device, you can actually double press and hold to activate the heart rate monitoring and then pair it with an app of your choice. So I imagine that these are actually gonna be pretty popular for those without a wrist-mounted fitness tracker, like an Apple Watch, a Whoop, or a Fitbit, or even just people who don't really care about that stuff, but still wanna train with heart rate occasionally. Let me know in the comments down below. Would you use something like this, or do you think it's kind of useless? Now, something really cool is that these buds have 3 microphones on each bud. So my voice actually sounds really clear right now in this quiet studio environment. And then here's what the buds sound like in a more noisy cafe environment. I've got some white noise playing in the background. Here's how my voice sounds. Last but not least, when it comes to battery life, these do an excellent job with 8 hours of playback time with ANC on and 10 hours without, and an additional 28 hours from the case. I feel like when it comes to wireless earbuds, anything over 6 hours, which is like a flight from New York to California, is good enough. So these at 8 hours, you can still get through that flight and have spare battery left over. It's also got fast fuel, so 5 minutes of charging is gonna get 1.5 hours of listening. Overall, Beats have created a very compelling product. I think for a lot of people, even if you don't work out intensely, these are gonna be a really good pair of just hybrid or do everything earbud. They've really done a lot of things right with these earbuds, like the design. They've got the physical controls that are really easy to use. With the ear hook, you've got a really secure fit in your ears, and of course, you've got the best noise canceling in any Beats product. Yeah, the transparency mode and the sound quality might not be as good as AirPods, but at the end of the day, I feel like most people won't actually notice unless you're listening back to back with AirPods Pro 2. Then of course, the cherry on top, you've also got heart rate monitoring right on the buds themselves, which is a first time ever, at least for myself. Now, these are gonna retail for $250. You can probably find them on sale for like $200. I feel like that is a pretty good price, especially considering that you are getting the latest active noise canceling and all of the best technology in these Beats products. I'm sure that these will last you a really long time. If you are interested, links will be down below. Make sure to use those links to support the channel. If you did find this video helpful, make sure to give it a like and consider subscribing to help me reach 250,000, 300,000. That would be sick. All right, catch you guys in the next one. Peace.